Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for coming. Do you want to know how to have a better relationship with your adult children? First of all, I want to say welcome to Grandmother's Love by Miss Anita. And again, do you want to know how to have a better relationship with your adult children? So do I. So, but I do have two simple tips. The first is you have to take a back seat. And the second tip is, which is pretty simple, you have to let your adult kids take the driving wheel. Let them steer. Because to tell you the honest truth, at some point in time, you do have to let go. And it's very challenging for us mothers or just parents as a whole because you raise your children from the time they're born into this world. You're taking care of them. You're looking out for them. When they have a fall, you put a bandage over or you take them to the doctor or whatever you need to do as a parent. Take my glasses off too. So, I mean, you're always there when they're involved in any type of sports or activities in school. You're there because that's what we do. We support our children. That's what we've done from the time that they're born, even going into their adult life. But here's the problem is when they become an adult. Now, for some of you, maybe it was easy breezy, don't know, you was able to let them go, like off you go. But for some of us, it's a struggle, and for me it's still a challenge even to this day. Now I am doing better, but I still have a ways to go. But yeah, number one, we have to take a back seat because, well, they're grown now, and it's only, you know there's not much you can do. You hope that whatever you taught them and raised them to be, and the values that you taught them growing up, that is instilled in them as grown children, and they'll take that with them. But you're going to have to let them make their own decisions and make their mistakes just as we did when we were young adults, and they'll have to make their mistakes and learn from them just as we've had to do. But it's very hard because you want to protect your kids and you don't want them to have to go through maybe some of the things that you've gone through. And of course, you do try to steer them, but you get out here in life, life has a lot of twists and turns. So sometimes you have to take a back seat and you just have to watch them. Now, you do leave the door open. So if they want to come and talk to you and ask for advice, then you're able to give that advice or but only, of course, if they ask. Sometimes my problem is I give it before they even ask. And I heard this gentleman say, I actually did a little bit of research, and he said that unsolicited advice is a complaint. I think that's what he said. Or I'll have to look that up. But if it's unsolicited, then it's probably not welcome, more or less. And it's just I had one child, a son, and he's doing very well for himself, and I'm thankful to God for that. But we were very close when he was a little boy, and I try to be involved in all the things that he was involved in growing up, and just be there for him like most moms and dads would for their children. And because I raised him as a single mom, we had a very close relationship. The challenges came from me, obviously, is when he became a man. And one thing about your children, and you all can attest to this, leave me some comments, by the way. Tell me some of your experiences with your grown children and see if they will put you in check. That's one thing. It will let you know immediately that they're grown. And you do have to just back away. I mean, honestly, you just have to step back, and you may have to watch them fall, and it's painful. Just be there for them when they do come back to you, or at least come, you know, 'cause sometimes they may need to come to get a hug or get their parental guidance or what have you. But yeah, I probably have so many different experiences as far as maybe getting in the way. I think when I was doing some research too, and I came across this one gentleman, his name is Jim Burns. He wrote this book, and I'm sorry, right now I'm drawing a blank, but I wrote the information down, but I think it's on my phone, which I'm using the phone right now to do this video vlog. But some of the things when you're letting go of your children in their adult life, I think these are the things that we as adults or parents experience. It's really letting go of the reins, letting go of the control, because now they have to take control of their life. Uh, One of the things that I wrote down is I think it's that sensation of when they're younger, they need you. They kind of depend on you. So maybe when they get older, it's that sensation or feeling not valued or not feeling as needed because they're gone on with their life. They may go on off to college or get married, have their own family. So they're doing their thing and they're living their life, and you kind of have to, you're in the background now, and that does not always feel too good. I think what happens is, and as I've learned, that you just kind of have to reinvent yourself again. It's like, in a way, it's like while they're going into their adult life, it's like you got to grow up all over again and figure it out because you spent all your energy. Well, let's say I did. I can't speak for others, but you do spend a lot of your energy as parents, investing and putting a lot of time and pouring into your kids. And then when they grow older and move out and you got your empty nesters, and you got to figure out, okay, now what? Now for me, I have to say this as, and this sounds kind of strange, but I think my energies when I had my grandson, my first grandchild, then I put all of my energies in, I transferred all of my energy into my grandson. I spent as much time with him as I could until he got older. And then, of course, his mom moved away from us. So, but he was a lot older. And that was heartbreaking enough. I felt, that was painful for me. And then, of course, my granddaughter came into the picture. And as you guys all know, I do take care of her like in the mid part of the week. Now, she's not here with me today, but I will have her back again, though. But I guess the point that I'm saying is that for me, because I don't have a spouse, and as I said, I work from home, so a lot of my focus is on her unless I'm working. But yeah, but in the back of my mind is knowing that one day she's gonna get older. She's will be 5, going into kindergarten. She's gonna be, leaving, and eventually she'll get older and have her friends and go on with her life. And so I think the lesson here is we have to learn how to figure out, well, letting go, number one, and then have to figure out reinventing ourselves or finding something else. And I think me starting at my vlog, that probably helped me some. It's a distraction and it's fun. I like it. I mean, I like being able to connect with you guys, with the audience. But me and my son at one point in time, we didn't always get along. There was some distance there, and that was really painful. But it was some things that I had to learn too. With your kids, you got to be respectful of them as adults, not kids. They're not children, little babies anymore, and they will tell you. They will definitely let you know. Is there anyone out there that can say amen who know what I'm talking about? Because they will, like, hey, I'm an adult now and I can make my own decisions. Well, I sound like Janet Jackson. But anyway, and I guess I should understand that because I went through the same thing with my mom. It was some things like she would worry about everything. Like, okay, don't go out there in the snow, like in the wintertime. Like the roads are really, really bad. And I think I should get flustered with her with different things. And I know she said out of love and care and concern, but I used to get so upset with her. I'm thinking, boy, man, I would never do anything. I would be so fearful, so afraid. And I'm thinking, as a single mom, I got to get out here. I got to get busy because I can't sit on the sidelines. I got to take care of business. So when she used to say that, and I'm thinking, I know she meant well, and there's other things. I'm not going to get into all that, but yeah, they said it's just make me upset sometimes, and it's probably the same frustration I felt towards my mom, and I had to think sometimes like, this is how my son probably feels sometimes. And those are things you got to think about as parents. Like, I got to step back. And that's a hard thing to do. But, some of us parents, you can do that. It's not a problem. Or maybe you got a spouse and you guys can bounce off of one another and they can kind of, you guys can collaborate and talk about it and like, okay, this is what we need to do. You work together as a team. I didn't have that. So I had to try to figure these things out on my own. And some parents are probably glad, like, hey, you know what? You get 18 or 21, you're on your own. And again, look, if you may have a better constitution in that area, but especially for moms, I want to say it's a challenge for us. When your kid goes off to college and you've always had them there in your home, that has to be hard. I mean, I can't, or like if they get married and it's like, okay, they got their lives now, that's hard when you've always had them around. I mean, my son has always been around. When I used to do women's, I used to have a women's small group, and we would meet once a month, and it was for like empowerment and inspiration. And sometimes I would have different speakers come in, and I would also have a little bit of entertainment. And at the time, my son, he used to teach dancing. As a matter of fact, he used to teach hip hop dancing. So I would have him and his troupe come in and perform for us sometimes. And not only that, but he used to help me set up, and he used to help me, tear down, put everything up when we used to have our conferences once a month. But so he has always been, I guess, a major part in my life. And it was something else I had wrote down. And I'm sorry, please forgive me. I have to look at my notes because, oh, how to detach yourself emotionally. That is a challenge for me. And it's not easy, pulling away and trying not to call. I say that sometimes. I say, I'm not going to call. I'm just going to wait till he gets in contact with me. Well, your kids never call you when you want them to call. I'm sorry. I'm guilty. So I'm going to reach out or check up on him and see how. And I got to work on some things, you guys. But I would like to know how some of you parents, how you guys have had to deal with some things, letting go of your grown kids. With some of the things that you all did, that you just had to sit on, like my mom said, you just got to sit on your hands. Like you just got to, it's not going to feel good, but you just got to suffer it out. That you guys find other things to do, that you join a club, hang out with more of your friends. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking for some advice too, but it's not just for me. Basically, the bottom line is how we get. Now, me and my son are doing a lot better, but we had to go through some things. And what I had to learn is what I'm sharing with you. My 2 tips is, one, you got to take the back seat. It's just that plain and simple. They're running things now. It's their life. You got to let them go. And it's hard. Number 2, they got to take the driving wheel so they can make their decisions, so that they can make their own mistakes. And mistakes will be made because, look, we're human and As human beings, we do falter sometimes, but they've got to learn from their mistakes. You can't always be there when they're little babies. You get their little boo-boo and wipe off the, clean up the sore and put a bandage over. You're not going to always be able to do that, but be available for your kids when they need you. So it's almost like we're sitting on the sidelines, I guess, in a sense, waiting. But I guess to me, the question is, what do you do while you are not necessarily waiting for maybe something to happen or waiting for them to give you that call, but keeping yourself busy? So that's the thing, is finding other things to do. Now that they're gone, you have to find something to fill your life, and maybe figure out who you are, learning yourself all over again. That's what it's all about. I'm going to end this, and please excuse me. I know maybe I may not. I hope the message that I was trying to present to you, you understood it, and maybe you got something out of it. But it's, I want to leave you with this. I think Maya Angelou, this might be her quote, I'm not sure, but I'm sure many of you have heard this, and that is, children, when they're little, they step on your toes, right? But when they grow up, they step on your heart. And I guess that's kind of how I feel. Because when they're little, it's like, I'm hungry, feed me, or play with me, or, they step on your toes and like, oh God. But when they get older, it's more adult things and adult problems, and you want to come to their rescue, but sometimes you got to step back, and it's hard, and that hurts your heart, because you don't never want to see your children go through, some craziness or whatever the things that they have to face. This life is hard, as we both know, as we all know. This life can be very hard and very challenging. But if you did a pretty good job and you instill some good values, hopefully it'll come back to them. As that scripture says, you raise up a child and the way that they should go, and train up a child. I know you guys out there, Bible scholars, know that scripture. Hopefully they'll come back around. We just believe they come back around. But I want to share this with you, so bear with me, and then I'm going to let you guys go. This is a song, and I'm sure most of you might know, and maybe some not, but if you don't, please look it up. This is by Regina Belle, and it's called If I Could. Play it when you end this vlog. It's a very beautiful song, and it almost puts me to tears every time I hear it. But I also want to dedicate this whole vlog to my son, and I'm dedicating this song to my son as well. If I could, I'd protect you from the sadness in your eyes and give you courage in a world of compromise. Yes, I would, if I could. If I could, I would teach you all the things that I've never learned and help you cross the bridges that I've burned. Yes, I would, if I could. I would try to shield your innocence in time, but the part of life that I gave you isn't mine. So I'll watch you grow so I can let you go. If I could, I would help you make it through the hungry years, but I know that I could never cry your tears. But I would if I could. Okay, I'm going to stop right there, but it's very emotional song, but I encourage you guys to please listen to it. Again, it's by Regina Belle, If I Could. Again, I thank you so very much for coming to visit me here at Grandmother's Love by Miss Anita. And if you really like this video, please like, share it with someone else, and hit subscribe. I would love for you guys to come back And you guys take care until the next time I see you again. Goodbye.